All right. I think we are now live. So, hi everybody. Welcome to Crypto Week in Review. My name is Jun Ian Wong, and I have a great panel of guests with us today. So, I guess I'll do a quick one-line intro of each of you, and then you can elaborate more on what you all do as we go along. So we have Andrea, who is with F-Force, E-Force. Am I pronouncing that right? Yeah. F-Force, which you might have heard of because of the involvement of Steve Wozniak, the Apple co-founder. So I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about what F-Force does as we go along. We have Diane Dai, co-founder of Dodo, which is a new form of market maker. With lots of different features to sort of the plain vanilla market makers that automated market makers that we are now quite familiar with. And then finally, we have Omar from Binance. So welcome, Omar.
Okay.
I'll just say something about myself. My background is journalism. I've been covering crypto since 2013 as one of the first employees at CoinDesk. And now I've helped to found a nonprofit called the Association of Cryptocurrency Journalists and Researchers, ACJR. And our goal is to really help to improve the quality of reporting and information about this technology and market that we find ourselves in. So check us out at acjr.network sometime. Mm-hmm. All right, with that, let's get into some of the questions that we have prepared. So I guess let's start with some talk about the market correction and sentiment this week. Ethereum hit a new high. I've just got my CoinMarketCap page up here. I guess it broke 4,300, 4.3K by a hair, right? And this was about on Wednesday, May 12th. I guess it's open to the floor. What do we think was driving this rally?
Yeah, I mean, I might just sort of jump in there. I mean, first of all, what I'm always surprised at is increasing as we're progressing, is the resiliency in the bounces. So, we've all been involved in the crypto markets for a while, and many of your listeners will have as well. We've seen dips before. What I'm seeing, which is really interesting, is just how aggressive the dips are coming back. I mean, even today you were touching 4K again in Ether. Whereas, if we'd gone back even a few months, if we'd lost 20% in a day on some of the, let's say, the blue chip tokens, we'd be thinking, it would cause a little bit of worry, a little bit of panic, like, wow, okay, is this the correction? Whereas the market just seems to be shaking this off, and people use it as an opportunity to buy the dip again. So I think that's the first thing we're seeing. The second thing, I think that we're starting to pull more people in from the wider ecosystem. So I know, June, you've been involved in crypto, since really early on, and many of you the same. It's pulling in, we talk about mainstream adoption a lot, and it's pulling in a lot of distinct audiences that traditionally crypto folk would have maybe 2 or 3 years ago would have said, well, okay, they're not real, crypto people unless you've been involved since 2013 or 14. I think that sentiment is now going away, where it's a much more welcoming space now, and you've got audiences which are very niche, like, we saw the whole Reddit GameStop community. A lot of the folk that were trading stocks have now moved into crypto. You're seeing TikTok audiences move into crypto, and they've got just as much right as anyone else to be in this space. So I think the biggest thing is that kind of mass participation, and I think crypto is starting to fulfill its promise to be inclusive, and is pulling sort of people in from all spaces.
Yep. I don't know. I think we lost. Okay, Diane. Yeah. Well, I'll jump in then. First of all, Omar, I don't know if you're celebrating, so Eid Mubarak to everyone that is celebrating Eid. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a good point. Talking about mass adoption and the increase in numbers of people that are actually using cryptocurrencies, and that as a driver of this price surge. Yeah, that's a good argument. I would say the fact that we have more over time, we've seen ups and downs, so a retracement of 20%. It's not unusual, I would say, especially in a bull run, because when lots of money is moving, and people also start fearing this this shakiness of the market, because they are all afraid of, oh, there's been a massive massive correction in the past, maybe this is the moment. So the fact that more and more retail people are getting in, that are not used to trading, they're not used to be on the markets every day, that might also be one of the factors, because when one starts going, everyone starts going. So it's the big FOMO effect. So I think that's one of the reasons why when we get a tweet from very influential people, the market goes crazy, and that literally moves the market, because the sentiment is attached to what people think and what the key holders are doing. And so if you follow the money, you're sure that you're not going to lose money, but in reality, you actually do lose a lot of money if you don't have the guts to stay in and hold for the long term. But but I agree that accessibility and it's increasing a lot in terms of more people getting in, and the adoption is definitely increasing. Given all that's happening also around the world. So lots of financial systems are still very closed. They're not open to everyone. So I think cryptocurrencies are playing an amazing role in that. So they're breaking barriers, and so that's one of the key points, I think. So yeah.
Thanks. Diane, do you have a thought on the Ethereum ATH? And additionally, I'm curious, because we're talking about all of this, new folks joining the space and so on, which is great. But I'm curious also, when new people join the space and they know you're in crypto, one of the first things they ask is, hey, what coin should I buy, right? Or something similar. And I'm just curious what you all respond when you get these kind of questions. So Diane.
Yeah, sure. So actually, my mom asked me this question like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, and she said, okay, I know Bitcoin, but it's a little bit too expensive, right? So is there a cheaper coin I can buy, like not using much money, but I can buy tons of it, and when it's pop, and I can, earn a lot. Yeah. So I just say, why not buy Dodo? Yeah. So that is an interesting topic. Yeah. And I think Ethereum is picking up because there are more institution to accept it, take it as a store of value, right? Yeah. And also for new traders, as I see, actually, for the Chinese market set, people are very, passionate for the animal tokens, for these meme tokens. Yeah, I think they're not taking it as an investment, but taking it as a gambling.
Yeah, that's interesting. I just want to add quickly, yesterday, I think there was a lot of news about new, some of the world's biggest hedge funds getting involved in crypto and DeFi, right? I think one of the first stories was in the Street Crypto, where actually I'm a consulting editor, the Street Crypto. They broke the story that Baliasny, which has 10 billion in assets under management, is looking at setting up a Bitcoin fund. And then CoinDesk wrote that Millennium, Matrix, and Point72, Stevie Cohen's fund, I think collectively managing over 100 billion, right, are all looking at setting up crypto funds and specifically DeFi related vehicles. So, I think, absolutely. The institutional interest, I think, in Ethereum and DeFi is just appears to be definitely picking up. Just to segue quickly to your point, Diane, about meme coins, right? Mm-hmm. So the other thing we wanted to discuss is all about the sheep coin. And I guess Chinese traders are bidding it up a lot, or were bidding it up a lot. Why are they so interested in it?
Oh, yes. I think people are always trying to looking for, like, the Dogecoin is like popping a lot, right? And people are saying, okay, what is the next Dogecoin, right? And there are a lot of Chinese centralized exchange, right? The big exchanges, and they are afraid of missing this kind of huge traffic and market attention. Yeah. So somehow at the same time they listed Shiba coins and more coins about dogs. Yeah. in a short time. Yeah, and it's easily reach out to Chinese traders. Yeah, and these traders just aping in and just buy. Yeah, so so there is a lot of drama when they say like Vitalik. When they say Vitalik is selling these Shiba coins. Yeah, so that day is really interesting. I didn't even sleep that day, just looking at this news. Yeah, and by the dip. Yeah.
But if I can, like, okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Go ahead, Andrea.
Okay. Well, I think, going back to the point before when you say, what coins to buy. First of all, when people ask you that, you always have to, we're not financial advisors here, but, always trying to understand what is their time horizon for a return, what type of risk they're willing to take. So definitely, if it's my grandma coming in, I will not tell her to buy a Shiba coin, even though she could have made tons of money on it. But, it's the which person you have in front of you, what is your audience in that moment, also should discriminate what type of coins they should buy, or what type of thing they should buy. So assuming knowledge is also not so good, because right now there is so much you can actually do. You can yield farm on anything basically right now. You can generate yields on practically anything that it's online. So, but the amount of knowledge that you need, it's quite, it's deep if you want to really understand it. Otherwise, it's on a user level. I think user level, a lot of people can easily interact now with yield generating things. Talking about SHIB, the idea though of having a meme that and most importantly, Vitalik selling SHIB for $1 billion and donating everything to a fund for India relief. I think that's the newsworthiness, because you have something that it was completely created out of pure fun and a gamble and pumping up the coin, and he decided to donate as much as, I think no one else has donated as much as he did. I might need to fact check this one, but I think no one else did. So that's a huge amount of money for a situation. So the meme coins doing for good, like doing something with the good with the meme coin, I think that's pretty cool. So that was a pretty cool news, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, number one, we operate an exchange, so we tend not to recommend individual coins, except those where obviously Binance is not shy about talking about the Binance ecosystem for obvious reasons. Our CEO CZ has done that many times, so we continue to be supporters, of course, of our ecosystem. But generally, I mean, as you guys all do, I get asked about this all the time. And my main answer is normally to try and encourage the person to go and educate themselves on the market, because most people coming into this space, the first question is, which coin should I buy? Is the price going to definitely go up? Can you guarantee me I'm going to make money? And just to try and change that attitude and say, look, this is a volatile asset class. Of course, you can make money, but you can lose money. So as Andrea referred to there, just ensuring people have good risk management. But also for me, I always answer those type of questions with, well, do you know what a blockchain is? Do you know how Bitcoin works? Why are Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, why are they three of the biggest coins? Go and find that out first. Generally, that's the approach that I take. And I tell people, go and educate yourself. But if you want to reduce your exposure, buy some of the blue chip coins that are going to be somewhat less volatile, and we can be more sure that they're going to be around in 5 years' time. And then you kind of see that natural progression. So me, as taking my Binance hat off, and me as an individual person, and my background is as a trader, so I was a trader for years before getting into crypto. It's always, people always go on a journey within crypto, and I'm sure it's happened with all of you as well. You start off, okay, a few years ago, wow, this blockchain technology is going to change the world. Then you discover, obviously, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Then you discover a load of other projects. So you eventually will get to some of those smaller projects, and and obviously we've seen that in a huge way, that it's often those kind of meme coins. Obviously, Dogecoin started all this off in this kind of meme revolution. But we'll kind of get there. I tell people you'll get there anyway. You'll understand why you're buying Dogecoin. It's not a bad thing to buy a meme coin, but understand what you're getting into. It's a bit of fun. Yes, it could go up, but understand that the technology might not have practical implications, but that doesn't mean that the price is not going to go up. So I think education is key in answering that question.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
I was just gonna agree and say, but I think back to like the ancient times, right? 2014 and things like that. And it's like the question was like, oh, should I buy Bitcoin? And it was like a lot easier to explain to people new to the space then, say, oh, well, you can go read this website, CoinDesk, and make up your mind about, what you think about hard money, right? And today the question is so much more complicated. And I get, every time I wake up, I get WhatsApp messages like, oh, should I buy coin X, Y, Z? It's like, I've never even heard of these coins. I don't even know how to like explain where to go to research and learn about this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's bewildering these days, not just for them, but for me,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the amount of things that you have to catch up on every day is huge. But going back to the point that Omar also was making, sometimes people have the feeling of, am I too late? Did I miss out the mega money that I could have made with Bitcoin? Is it all gone? And then we don't even realize that a tremendous amount of wealth was created in 1 to 3 years. Like we have like FTX, or like not to to advertise anything else, but like we have other ecosystems that have grown crazy amount in just 1, 2, 3 years. And so it's not even the it's not even the fact that Bitcoin is gone. So technically we're not late. We're not late. People are not late. Even I was lucky enough to start very, very early on. So that's a good thing. But also the amount of reading that I personally have to do every single day to see which coin is even worth looking at if I want to differentiate my investments, right? Like it's overwhelming. There's so much, and there's so many opportunities right now on the market. Depends on what you want to do, what's your time frame, and those type of things. But the knowledge and education is definitely the base if you don't want to lose your money somewhere.
I know somebody was asking me, he's like, hey, how do I mine chia? I'm like, gosh, I can't help you with that one. Sorry. So here's a question about the the Vitalik donation, right? So obviously all of those dog coins that he got and meme coins were all airdropped to him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they were free money. So I guess my question to you all is donating $1 billion in notional $1 billion in free money really the same thing as making a really huge donation? I mean, it's not as if Vitalik had to liquidate his ETH to make that donation, right?
Yeah, I mean, I saw quite a lot of talk about this on Twitter and Reddit forums, and the headline was, of course, Vitalik donates $1 billion, and then there was quite a few comments saying, well, he got it airdropped for free, and but it still had a value, right? So I kind of look. This is a good news story. However you look at it, I can't really spin it any other way. I mean, what he does is a fantastic thing. It will make a huge difference to people's lives. Now, whether when they exit that position, it's going to be $1 billion or 100 million or even 10 million, whatever liquidity allows. It still I think was a great gesture on Vitalik's part. We know historically Vitalik generally doesn't like to get involved in projects on an individual level for years now. So would he have bought Shiba? No, absolutely not. But given that he got airdropped and he was sat on that value, then I think the fact that he did something fantastic with it rather than sending it off to get burned has got to be a good news story. And whether it ends up being $1 billion or not, it will make a huge difference to people's lives. So yeah, I mean, I think it's an amazing thing on a human level.
Diane, I'm just curious, what was the response like, especially among, say, Chinese traders to that news that Vitalik was making a donation? Were people like, yay, this is good for crypto? Or were they more like, oh no, now he's dumping all these coins?
Oh yeah, actually, I think at first people understand that, this meme coins just take Vitalik's wallet address as an advertisement, right? But maybe Vitalik don't like it, right? He doesn't want his influence used like this, right? So I think traders can understand, but they think this is. So some people, like our DeFi builders, we think it's a good thing because it's because these meme coins cause a lot of transactions, so the gas is even more higher on Ethereum. Yeah, so it's a good thing that it is easier for the network. Yeah, but some traders just think it's just the way that their money comes to the hands of this of Indians. Yeah, so I think it looks like Vitalik using this kind of money just saving the situation of the India COVID, right? So somehow a passive donation of their money. Yeah. So this is some different thoughts, I think. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think the human society just more and more like a TV show. So it's quite interesting, especially in the bull market.
Yeah.
Well, on my side, just really quick. I mean, $1 billion is still $1 billion. Like even if he got it airdropped, he could have done a ton of other things with his money, right? So because it was literally his money now, so people gave it to him, whatever the reason was. So, but he could have used it in a different way. So I think that the fact that he chose to do something good with it, that's where the real the real situation. He didn't cash out his own ETH, true, but he did something good with something that it was rightfully his. So.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I don't know what I would have done with $1 billion. Maybe
Yeah.
acquire a Lambo dealership. Last thing on our markets segment before we move on. Obviously, Elon Musk tweeted about how Tesla is not going to buy more Bitcoin, and it's not going to accept Bitcoin for sales, and that most people think triggered a bit of a correction in the markets. But I'm just looking at CoinMarketCap right now. Bitcoin is down 12% for the week, right? ETH is up 5%. BNB is down 5%. I mean, it's not that bad, basically. So anyway, I'll open to the floor here. Whoever wants to weigh in on Elon's tweets, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think Elon is such an influential person, but also he's not shy about using that influence. So I really see two schools of thought. You have the Musketeers. I don't know, is that what they're officially called, or did I make that up? I'm sure that's what they're referred to. I don't know, but they're kind of whatever Elon says, they will follow, and that's not unusual, right, for someone so influential. And then you've got the kind of the skeptics, and I'm sure Andrea, with what you do in your business, you've got to take on this. But I think from an influence point of view, if this was 1 year or 2 years ago, this would be like the biggest story in crypto. Oh my God, Elon Musk either is pro Bitcoin or anti Bitcoin, and it would have huge ramifications, which might last a whole, a good part of a cycle. As it is now, it was like, yeah, okay, cool, and then the market kind of moved up. But yeah, it had that initial reaction. I mean, as we've already talked about, Ether was touching 4,000 again, and people realized, well, actually, it doesn't really matter. I mean, my personal views on Elon Musk is that he is one of the greatest marketers living today, and he's done amazing things in everything that he's touched in terms of impact. As to what his true goals are, I mean, someone as smart as him, I do think he has a plan. I don't really believe this kind of, wow, crypto is cool, I'm just discovering it, this new cool thing called Dogecoin. Personally, I don't think that's true. I think he knows exactly what he's doing, and whether he makes Dogecoin bigger than it is, or whether he starts focuses his attention on another crypto. I honestly don't know. I can't second guess him. I don't think anyone can, but I do think he has a plan of what to do in the crypto markets. And I suppose the nice thing for me, as someone who's been in the crypto markets for quite some time, is that yes, we're taking note of what he says, but we're not. The crypto community is not hanging on his every word. I think a lot of new people into the space may be doing that, but very quickly, once you learn, there are some people doing some really cool stuff in crypto who are probably more influential on the tech that I think I would love to see those kind of characters get more and more of a following.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Diane. Go. Yeah.
Sorry, you broke up there. Were you going to go?
Yeah. Who should I go?
Yeah, go for it, Andrea.
Okay. Well, so this is something that touches upon as Omar was saying as well. Touches upon the business that we do day to day as well. Of course, I don't know if you've heard about it or if you've seen it yet. We are into energy efficiency. We've been, actually the company where we are right now. It's been in this business for 11 years. Look, the fact that Elon tweets and market reacts, that's normal. It's normal because of the type of exposure that he has, but also the fact that he didn't sell his own Bitcoins. He didn't say, I'm against Bitcoin. I'm going to sell my crypto. No, he did not say that. He, however, as a brand, Tesla, cannot be associated directly. Maybe he was getting shareholder pressure or something like that, but he cannot be associated with something that now people are just saying that has a negative impact on the planet. But in reality, even if you look closer into the mining ecosystem, a large percentage of mining goes on renewables. Is not done on anything that is that it's coal based or as they were claiming. So the amount and Bitcoin, like it or not, is the most efficient way to transfer electricity from one place to another. It's let's call it like that. But besides everything like that, F-Force, for example, what we do, we try to minimize the energy consumption, because we think like that right now in the climate that we're living in, the general ecosystem, it's very important for us. We're 7.8 billion people on this planet, so we need to be more efficient in the way that we use electricity. So if you're running a Bitcoin farm or a mining farm of some cryptocurrencies, you can be efficient in that side, and that is already doing it a little bit better than what it is. But the reality is that Elon didn't say that crypto is bad, or Elon didn't say like he got something that was incredibly undervalued, which was a meme, was starting as a game, and he just got acquired over time a large stake of it, and now he's thinking of doing something with that meme coin. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's against it. He was late to the Bitcoin party, maybe he wasn't late to the Doge party, so he made his own party, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, totally. Diane, anything to add on that?
I don't have much comments, but I just bought a dip of the Bitcoin when he said this. Yeah, but not financial advice. Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's sort of our market weekly wrap there. There's a couple of other talking points that we have on our sheet here, and one of them is a virtual NFT hoodie that sold for £19,000, which is $20,000, I guess. I guess what do you all think about an NFT hoodie? I guess you can't even wear it, can you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited about the NFT space, and I think that's grown over time. So I've been aware of NFTs for some time, as you can imagine, and thought, that's it's pretty cool. I can imagine one day this being really cool. And the more I delve into it, the more excited I get about the whole NFT space. And I think, I mean, it's probably the same with the three of you, that when you get a story in the media about something like Beeple or artwork selling for $60 million, or a virtual good like a hoodie selling, the immediate reaction to a no coiner is like, why on earth are people spending thousands or millions of dollars on crypto punks or virtual hoodies? I don't get it. And you kind of start off from a point that yeah, I know it's super weird, right? It is really weird, but when you start to delve in and think about the possibilities of NFTs, that's when you really start to think, what, it's actually not that crazy. So for me, looking at an NFT, and I think it's no secret that Binance are looking forward to our own NFT platform launch in June, which has been sort of well documented. I think the thing that excites me is that people buy NFTs, or people will buy NFTs for a couple of reasons. Of course, there will be people that are speculating on prices because they see it as an asset class. You look at something like NBA Top Shots, and you can totally, it's relatively simple concept to explain, right? So someone's buying a digital collectible to sell it at a future value. That's one case. I think there's a huge user case here of social capital, right? So people want cool stuff, whether it's your gamer tag, whether it's your handle on Twitter, whatever it may be. We've seen projects like BitCloud and others. People want to say that they own cool stuff. And the NFT space, I think, will kind of explode in that. And I saw this hoodie that was for sale was like nearly £20,000, right? I think in that case they did, from what I read, they did actually have a physical hoodie as well. But the idea of having virtual, I mean, I'd love that, right? So if we could jump on this call and I could wear, I don't know, a limited edition hoodie or a limited edition pair of trainers. If you fast forward 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, and we're interacting in a digital world, then yeah, I want to make sure I have my digital Binance hoodie or whatever it may be, right? And a really interesting piece, I think it's starting to get more, NFTs are starting to become more than just a fashionable trend. It's, I mean, I've seen big brands release a pair of trainers, right? NFT trainers. So you're starting to get big brands understand the kind of the possibilities in this space. So I think having the social capital to say that I own this digital good when we're living in a digital world and interacting more in a digital world. I mean, I'd love to see what this meeting looks like in 10 years time, for example, right? Even 5 years time. And will we have digital items? I mean, I think the pandemic has started this trend for people being more aware of their digital environments. I mean, even if it's something simple like having a Zoom background, right? Having a bespoke Zoom background. So, I mean, now I'm at the stage where I'm not shocked by anything, and I try to see the value in it. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to get good and bad NFTs. You have good and bad stocks, good and bad cryptocurrencies, and you will have good and bad NFTs, right? Some will make money, some will lose money, but the space isn't going anywhere. And I think the user cases for NFTs, that is the bit that's going to surprise us a lot. At the moment, yeah.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I should just put a note here that, of course, we've forgotten, or I forgot to mention Unisocks, right? Which was the NFT socks that had a market cap of, almost $50 million back in March. So yes, tokenized pieces of clothing seem to be doing very well.
Absolutely. And I think those kind of things we can understand. I think what is coming, the innovation that will come to the NFT space, that is what I'm excited about over the next couple of years.
Yeah, totally. I mean, just talking about that, right? I mean, there were a couple of items that crossed my desk in terms of new, interesting use cases of NFTs. One of them is something called NFTs.WTF, which is a crowd-funded D-zine, right? Like a decentralized magazine. I actually just joined their DAO a few days ago as well. So I have a slight vested interest in it, but sort of the concept is quite interesting. Each issue of the magazine comes with 1,000 NFTs minted, and there's obviously various token economics involved, but just the notion that you have these issues that are additions and which have different programmable cash flows attached to them is quite interesting. And then the whole operation is kind of governed by a DAO, right? You have different members with different voting rights and so on. So I think that was one NFT use that sort of caught my eye in terms of being something quite new.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think the whole rare books example. I can see your bookshelf is well stocked there, June. So the rare books example is kind of a good case, right? I can imagine publications now being associated with serial numbers, editions, being a really cool user case for this. So it's something that I haven't seen too much of, but I'd love to connect with projects that are working on those type of projects.
Yeah, Diane, what are you seeing in terms of NFTs?
Yeah, I think it's NFT is really makes sense. So for me, I think the human civilization has two major directions, inward and outward. Inward, I mean, like we will have a metaverse, we will have our avatar and our digital world, right? And for outward, I mean, like human going to space. Yeah, so I think NFT is product of inward development of human civilization. Yeah. So I think there is a right logic, like the industrial revolution liberated our human body, right? And the information revolution liberated our mind, our brain. We have computers, right? And I think the blockchain technology here is going to liberate our spirits. Yeah. So I think it will help to meet the spiritual needs of human. Yeah. So I think there will be a lot of people, love to spend money to, buy pretty good things in a virtual world, in a digital world for themselves. Yeah. So I think NFT represents a new explosion in the the new industry, the entertainment industry. Yeah. So it's not just about art, but also about the whole the whole things that not about making real things, but making these things that make human feels happy and bring happiness. Yeah. So I think so that's why for our team we are also building products in the NFT markets. Although it is still a very, very early stage, but I think it deserves to have a position here. Yeah. And I think in a long term, financial NFT will also be good ideas that can realize in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just going to make a quick note there. Sorry, Andrea, I'll come to you in 1 second. I'm just going to make a quick note there about this trend of utility NFTs, right? Like you see with Uniswap V3, the LP token is an NFT, and it itself has some artwork attached to it, right? So yeah, just, totally agree with the points you were making there, Diane. Over to you, Andrea.
Yeah, sorry, and my connection is a bit laggy because there is a bad storm here in Milan. But so I apologize if I jump in and on and off. One thing I wanted to say about NFTs, something has I did buy some NFTs for fun, but something has value as long as people want to give that value. So I think if you want to pay and you feel like paying $19,000 for a hoodie, you're giving that value. Why would people think of giving a value of $600 to BNB or to something else? If there is a will, there is a way, right? People want to buy something, they will do it at that price. So and also, as Diane was saying, the uses and use cases of NFTs, we're just at the beginning, because this is just now applied to art mainly, and digital art, but the reality is that you could use it, as already been done in the States as well. So you can use it as a concert back pass for a backstage pass for a lifetime, right? So also artists from music could come in, or like as a financial, some sort of a reward that you can give to people. So there's so many uses of NFTs, and it's really cool that you now have something that it's publicly tracked and it's publicly available. This is the strongest point, because we're not used to the fact that of having digital points or digital collectibles that everyone can verify. Now this is the biggest point. You have verifiability, and it's accessible, it's transparent. Those things are the crucial things. You can decide to buy a hoodie for 19,000. It's fine. It's your decision. Like people collect sneakers and they pay thousands of dollars for sneakers. Everyone has its own passions and its own ideas. And if there is a product that represents that, and there is a product that they resonate with, why not doing it? It's positive, I think.
I was just going to make a quick note about how quickly I think our framing of these things has changed in the last even few months, right? Because I think back to last year in May, and I was running the consensus conference at CoinDesk, and we did a few. It was the first virtual one that we had done, we were hosting a few events in metaverses, right? Like we hosted something in Decentraland, we did something in Crypto Voxels. And I remember the Crypto Voxels thing was like, and also the Decentraland one was like, oh, let's go to these galleries and look at this crypto art that was in these virtual galleries. And like we had never, like everyone was like, oh, this is so crazy, you know, imagine we're in this virtual gallery. And, you know, fast forward 12 months, we have, you know, Christie's auctioning CryptoPunks, right? I mean, it's just the pace of how quickly all those things change, which just strikes me as unbelievable when you actually think back.
And perception as well, as you were saying, you know, perception of the crypto. Everyone was talking about crypto art, you know, and now it's not just crypto art anymore, because the idea of fungibility and non-fungibility, now it's becoming something that people start using it more, like start understanding and using more in their lives, right? So I think it's becoming mainstream. And one key role of NFTs that I think it's crucial is also the fact that they're transferring and they're bringing a lot of the no coiners, I would say, or the people outside of crypto into crypto. So it's an easy way to start getting into crypto, because it's much easier to get an NFT than go and do yield farming on a protocol that you have no idea how to interact with, right? So that's also a function that I think NFTs are doing brilliantly.
Yeah, agreed. And I think, you know, metaverses and NFTs are going to be something really interesting to watch as they develop. Well, we are almost at time, so I'm just going to combine like the last two questions together quickly for each of you. You know, what are your parting words to people who are exposed to the market during this quite volatile time? And at the same time, what are your plans and updates on things that you're working on? Maybe we'll start with Diane.
Sure. So the parting words maybe, I think do your own research, have your own investment theory, and practice it in the real market. Yeah. So like holding its value, making contributions to your portfolios, and don't buy it if you do not want to sell it. Yeah. And about the updates of our projects. Yeah, so Dodo is a decentralized exchange to provide programmable liquidity for traders and market makers. Yeah, and now we are also it is built on both Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain, and will be deployed on more multi-chains. Yeah, and one thing exciting is we are building an NFT auction platform and also the NFT fractionalization platform. Yeah, and it's going to launch next month. Yeah.
Should I go, Omar? Who?
Andrea, please.
Go for it, Andrea. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, parting words. I agree with the do your own research part, but you know, one of the things that I also wanted to share is not everything happens overnight, right? So not everyone launches a 45 billion or 100 billion ecosystem overnight, right? Like that's not always the case, right? So it might happen that sometimes, depending on the use case, it takes more or less time to actually deliver onto something that is going to have a tangible and long-standing impact. So just talking about what we do in a nutshell, we're some sort of a crowdfunding platform for energy efficiency projects. And energy efficiency and renewables are two completely different things. So just to clarify what energy efficiency is, we reduce energy. We do not produce energy. So this is one of the use cases that I think hasn't been covered. We've been in this space for over a decade, and now we're allowing everyone to participate in this ecosystem. And right now, the only thing that we have live is the contribution, but we're going to launch the staking portion. We're going to launch the marketplace. We have so much coming out with lots of big brand names as clients. So I think this is just the beginning. And so the impatience of people getting in, oh, I want everything to go 50 hex. I just want people to be also patient, because it's not always bull run, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think from my side, a couple of things on the market conditions. Yeah, I mean, number one, I would say have good risk management. Every trade that you enter, you should have an exit strategy for that trade. And the second bit of advice really would be to zoom out sometimes, right? So to build on Andrea's point, yeah, okay, your coin might have gone up 50% instead of 500%, but I mean that's crazy. 50% in a day or a week or a month is a great return on your investment. So maybe zoom out, see how far we've come, and don't expect overnight results all the time. That would be sort of my advice in this market. And then Binance, always keeping us busy here at Binance. But two of our biggest priorities, and probably two of the biggest things that I think our users are discussing, is that I wanted to touch on. Number one, the kind of the customer service side of things, and of course BSC. On the customer service side, we realize that we are not doing as well as we could have done, and we're addressing that. I mean, we've seen a tremendous surge in usage at Binance, and it is a huge priority inside Binance at the moment to sort of ramp up those customer service teams that we have. So rest assured, we are addressing that. The second thing that I know is a hot topic right now for users is, of course, Binance Smart Chain. In terms of, I mean, we've just seen phenomenal growth right now. I mean, we a couple of days ago we crossed transactions in a 24-hour period. So, when you've got six times the transaction volume of Ethereum, things sometimes don't run as smoothly as we would hope. But again, we've got some really smart people internally working on that. So Binance Smart Chain has grown exponentially, and we're giving it a lot of love and attention in-house and attracting a lot of fantastic projects. Obviously, some of them we have here today. So we want to continue to invest in our own ecosystem.
Wonderful. Thanks for all of those parting words. I'm going to throw my 2 cents in. What to do in this market? I'm going to say diamond hands, baby, diamond hands. And project updates. ACJR is a nonprofit. We started about less than 6 months ago. If you're a project or a company in the space that wants to contribute to the commons of higher quality research and journalism, come talk to us. We're looking for supporters. We're looking for organizations that are aligned to this idea and who are sort of interested in the long-term health, I think, of this industry. You really need a free press and a high-quality press to keep track of and communicate a lot of these ideas and changes that are happening so rapidly in our space. So come check us out, acjr.network or June Ian on Twitter. All right, I think that brings us to a wrap. Thanks to everyone for the panel, and see you all soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.